What's up, everybody? Thanks for checking out Hunt, Shoot, Live. Super pumped about today's episode. I got the big, beautiful man with me here. You guys remember I did last year a video with the CVA Accura 50 cal muzzleloader, and I had a ton of people comment on this gun's ability to, I made a comment that I felt like it might be a 200-yard gun. That was based off of the fact that my CVA Optima Pro, I've had it for probably 12 years or more. I've killed multiple deer with that gun at 200 yards. So I know my Optima will do it. This one, I assume will do it just based on how well it did at 100 yards last year with just the first random load we chose. But anyway, I've been excited all year. We're getting closer to deer season again, so it's time. The big, beautiful man is going to let us do another video here with his gun. We are at a range, it's actually his property, and we've got targets set up at 200 yards. We're actually a little over 200 yards, and we're going to give it a go. We're going to try he's using a 295 grain power belt. I've also got some 250 grain projectiles that we're going to try. We are just going to see what the CVA Accura will do at 200 yards, and this is everything short of actually trying it out on a deer. So we'll look at the results today, and you guys can decide if a 200-yard shot is going to be something that you want to try. We'll probably try, he's been loading just 2 white hots, right? We'll probably end up trying 3 white hots just to see what that does with those 295 grains, but we'll do several things. Hopefully by the end of this test, you guys will feel confident in your CVA Accura's ability at 200 yards, or not. Maybe we'll figure out that, nope, it just drops like a rock and it's useless. So here we go, 200 yards. We're going to try his 295 grains first with the 2 white hots, just like he uses for his actual hunting load. My targets are basically like 20-inch silhouettes, so they're like mini silhouettes. So I told him to aim at the head area because it's zeroed for 100. So, and we should have enough of that target to be able to catch it if it drops. So we'll do our tests, we'll do our shots, then we'll go out and check out the results up close. So we'll see what happens. I do not have the zoom to be able to see where you hit. Can you tell?
I don't either.
Well, Jared took his first shot, and we can't see crap with the camera. But I did go out, and I confirmed that he is right on where we need to be. We're going to get some good data from this, so he's going to go ahead and take 2 more shots, so we'll have 3 in this group, and then we will go and assess. Shot number 2. Feel good?
Yeah, I pulled.
Oh, you did pull?
I did pull on that one.
Okay. Pull right.
Yeah.
So shot number 2, maybe a little right. Shot number 3. 295 grain, 2 pellets of white hot. Okay, how'd that one feel?
That one felt good.
All right. So you got 2 that felt good, but you say that your second shot might have went a little bit right.
Yes.
So let's go out and let's assess the situation. We got 3 shots at 200 yards. Go see how you did. So Jared was aiming at this target. He was aiming right here at the head, and his 3 shots. Right here was shot number 1. He said he pulled right on his second shot, so that would have to be his second one. And then right here's his 3rd one. So we're going to have to grab a tape measure here in a minute, so we'll do another shot sequence and then get a tape measure and get some real accurate measurements. But, you know, it's looking like he's dropped probably 21 to 24 inches total. And then right here, you know, we've got probably a 12-inch extreme spread, I would say. So definitely not ideal. But if you factor in that he said he did pull right on that, if we could have pulled that over this way, that would have given us about a 6 to 7 inch group at 200 yards. So we're going to go back, and he wants to try 3 pellets of the white hot. So we'll aim over here on this side, and then when we come back, we'll be sure to have a tape measure and we can get some good accurate measurements.
Here we go.
Here's Jared's first shot. with the 295 grains, and we're using 3 of the white hots instead of 2. Send it. How'd it feel?
That'll feel good.
Excellent, excellent. Shot number 2, 295, 3 pellets, top right target. How'd it feel?
Feel good.
Excellent. All right, let's do one more. All right, this is shot number 3 with the 295 grain power belt with 3 white hot pellets. Shot number 3, top right target.
Good.
Feel good? Mm-hmm. Let's go check it out. Okay, so now that I got a tape measure, let's look at his first shots. So his aiming point, ignore this hit right here, because this came from the second series. But his aiming point the first time was right here, and he hit here, here, and here. He did call that he had one that was pulled to the right, so we're kind of assuming that this one should have been over here a little bit. But even still, he had a drop. So this was at 200 yards with 2 white hots with the 295 grain. He had a drop, a total drop with this one down here. That's 21 inches, which is about what I said. And these other 2, those are about 15 inches, and they are 10 inches apart. So 8 inches that way. So what he wanted to try to do was do 3 pellets. So he shot over here, aiming right here at this 7, and 200 yards, 3 pellets with the 295 grains. He actually hit here, here, and here. Now, so that means he hit 7 inches high. That's an excellent group. You know, that's a 2.5 inch group right there at 200 yards. Now, this one was a flyer. This was major flyer, but even still, that's 12 inches. So what we're gonna do, I think, I mean, it seems to perform dang good with 3 pellets as opposed to the 2. So what we're gonna do is actually try to zero it with the 3 pellets at 200 yards, and we're gonna repeat this. Jared's shooting the top left target. We've covered up our old holes. We've actually dropped it to match what will be a 0 for 200 yards with the 295 grain and the 3 pellets. He had a significant improvement of performance just by adding that 3rd pellet. So we're going to test a 200 yard 0. We'll go look at that, and then we'll see what that, if we like it, we'll see what that's doing at 100 yards. So here's Jared's first shot, top left. This is 3 pellets with a 0 of 200 yards. Feel good? Mm-hmm. Shot number 2. This is with the 0 at 200 with the 295 grain, and he is using 3 white hots. Shot number 2. What do you think?
Feel good.
Nice. We'll do one more and we'll go check it out. This is shot number 3. Top left target with our 0 at 200 yards, 295 grain with the 3 white hot pellets.
Good.
Let's go check her out. We're going to go back to 100 yards here in a second, I think, and see how this new 0 works. But what we noticed, just to give you the recap, in case you haven't been paying attention, when he added 1 pellet, so he had been shooting 2 pellets, and he had about 20 inches of drop with his current 0. With his 100 yard 0, he ended up with about 20 inches of drop at 200 yards. So just by adding 1 pellet, he actually ended up gaining his velocity. So his impact point was higher than what his aim point was. So we reset and did a 0, because that's a heck of a gain. That is a heck of, he gained basically 18 inches, because it's just adjust for the different aiming point on this side. Just by adding a pellet, he gained about 18 inches. So that's pretty impressive. So when we recalculated 0, and right here was his aiming point, and here's his 3 shots. 1, 2, 3. That is a extreme spread of 10 inches. That one's 10 inches and this one's 10 inches as well. I guess what we'll do now is we'll keep this 0 and we'll get it 100 yards and aim dead on and just see how high we're impacting. So let's see what happens with that. We've scooted into 100 yards. We've got the new 0 with the 295 grains and 3 white hot pellets. It's zeroed at 200 for that. So we've scooted in to 100 yards and we're going to do 3 shots on this top right target. I should be able to zoom in on that. Jared, are you ready?
Yep.
All right, let me get zoomed in. Dang, that hit high.
That's his head.
Yeah. So it's one thing to compensate up, but I didn't realize that we would have that much. So we're going to scrap that idea because you don't want to have to hold down that much. So go back to, we know our count. It was we need to go 3 minutes left, or excuse me, it was 2 minutes left and 3.5 minutes back up. So probably try some 250 grains at 200 yards. See what happens. All right, Jared's got a 250 grain in here, 250 grain bullet and 2 pellets. So we've reconfirmed his 0. He's zeroed in for 2 pellets with a 295 grain. So now we're just going to see how this 250 grain does at 100 yards, and then we'll probably back up and test them at 200 yards. Jared is going to shoot the bottom left target. Whenever you're ready, man. Okay. So it's shooting pretty high. You're probably, I think it's probably 10 inches high.
Okay.
So a 250 grain is shooting 10 inches high at 100 yards with his current 0. Let's go back and see what it drops at 200. All right, we're back out to 200 yards. Jared's going to shoot the bottom right target. We've got 2 white hot pellets and a 250 grain. We're going to see how much. We know that we shot the bottom left at 100 yards. It's definitely shooting high, so we're going to see, we'll shoot 3 shots here at 200 yards on that bottom right, and then we'll compare and see how much drop these 250 grains have. And then we'll check and see, of course, what the group is going to look like as well. So Jared, bottom right target, remember you were holding dead center.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready, send it. On the bottom right target, this is shot number 2 with the 250 grain bullet and 2 white hot pellets. So this will do it for us right here. Shot number 3 with the 250 grain and 2 white hots. Shot number 3 is on the bottom right target. Alright, let's go see what we got. So this is the result that we've been waiting on. Everything else has been a little iffy. We've been using the 295 grains. Our last several shots, well, let me back up and just recap. So we didn't get the performance that we wanted. The drop with the 295 grain and 3 pellets is not going to be a problem. You know, if you had, we did it backwards and we zeroed it at 200 and then tried to shoot it at 100, and we had just, you know, it's you'd have to compensate aiming low, and you wouldn't want to do that. So you could definitely use 3 pellets and 295 grains and sight it in at 100, and you would only end up with about 10 inches of drop, 12 inches of drop at 200 yards. The problem was we still did not get a great group. You know, our first series was, gosh, what was that? That was Our first series had a 10-inch spread, and I think the other one was a 10 or 12-inch spread, something like that. So not exactly ideal. You would definitely hit a deer, but you know, that's definitely within the margin of error that you might not hit it somewhere good. So, but the tail is right here with these 250 grains. So Jared put in 250 grain bullet with just 2 white hots, which this is actually what I use in my Optima Pro. And like I said, I have killed multiple deer at 200 yards. I have never lost a deer shooting at 200 yards with my Optima Pro. So with his Accura, he shot, his first shot was to test his zero comparison because he was zeroed with a 295. So he aimed here, he hit 7 inches high. Actually, that's 6 inches high. He hit 6 inches high with the 250 compared to the 295. So we knew that he was going to be good to go ahead and back up to 200. And so we came over here to this one. This was at 200 yards, knowing that he was shooting about 6 inches high. And he ended up hitting, here is 1 shot. This is 2 shots. And get in on here so they believe me, Jared. You can see, here's the one hole, here's the other hole. So this was a fantastic group. This was a total extreme spread, 3-shot of 4 3/4 inches at 200 yards. So I think that's, I think he's in the money right there. And that's no drop at all. That's 6 inches of drop. Well, we'll add to. That's 8 inches of drop between 100 yards and 200 yards. And he's got less than a 5-inch 3-shot group. So, you know, he's, which we've outshot up all of his 295s. But I think when you go back, Jared, I mean, this is the money right here. I think the 250 grain bullets with the 2 pellets of the white hots, you know, I mean, that's really good. That's great performance. And I know it will kill deer because these are my 250 grain bullets, and I also shoot 2 white hots out of my gun. So I could hear that that would be the next thing somebody would ask is, well, yeah, it's shooting it, but will it kill a deer? Yes, this is the same combo I am killing deer with. I am killing deer at 200 yards with 1 250 grain bullet and 2 white hots. So I believe that's going to be your combo now. And you know, his scope has the ballistic hash marks in it, so he'll, you know, you'll need to figure out which one of those. We should have done that, Jared. We looked at the one for 20 inches would have used the 3rd hash mark down, so you're probably only going to have to use like maybe the 1st hash mark down. So that's awesome. You know, CVA makes a quality product. I really expected this. I hate that we spent all that time on the 295 grain bullets. We were trying to make that work, but at least the point is we got to the outcome that we knew that we should be able to find, and that is that there is a bullet and there is a powder combination that CVA Accura can shoot at 200 yards. So now it's up to you this year, Jared. You need to knock a doe down at 200 yards with that bad boy, because I'm sure I'm still going to get people telling me that it can't happen, but it can. It did it. I've done this many times, so we'll try to get that on video this year. Get a 200-yard kill with this one, and actually, you know, the proof will be in the pudding at that point. But anyway, this is a fun test. It's freaking smoking hot today, but it's been fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this follow-up. If you didn't catch the first review that I did with his Accura, check out my channel, and you can check out my playlist and find that on there. Appreciate you guys for watching Hunt, Shoot, Live. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. That way you can catch all our new videos as we have them coming out. I appreciate you guys as always. God bless you. We'll see you next time.